Hello you guys, how are you guys this evening? You guys are live here on the Dixville Paint Facebook and Instagram pages. My name is Brandy. I am the owner and artisan behind Brush by Brandy. I am a Dixville Paint brand ambassador, and I paint here live with you guys every Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, so welcome. Tonight we're going to do some painting, and you guys, my husband Sean is here behind the camera, so if you guys have any questions along the way about what I'm going to paint tonight, or any questions on what you're working on at home, go ahead and throw those in the comment thread, and we'll get to those as we go tonight. And then I always watch these back too, so if you have questions, but if you tag me, I'm far more likely to see it. If you tag Brush by Brandy, I'm far more likely to see those questions. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we get to painting, I wanted to show you guys a couple things, and I'm going to give you this heads up because it's getting a little tight, and Dixville came out with a new fall color release, which is 5 colors. You guys have probably seen them by now because they're everywhere right now. I'm going to show you the colors, and then I wanted to show you, I've had a lot of questions about how they stack up to other colors in the line. So I'm going to show you the closest color comparison so you can get an idea. We did get a notice today that these are in short stock. You guys, these are already in limited stock, and they're limited edition. So once they're gone, they're gone. And we're looking at probably days left on them. So if you have any inclination to wanting to order them, I would recommend finding those. You can find these on the Dixville Paint website or at your local retailers right now too. Okay, so we have Juniper, which is this rich green color. This is Pumpkin Spice, which is beautiful. It's like this warm curry color, very fall. Cashmere, which I did a piece on this week, and there's a video for that up on my YouTube channel. That's a warm creamy white. We have Merlot, which is very much Merlot. It's like a glass of wine. And then Latte. So I'm going to show you guys some comparisons for these to the closest colors in the line. So I'm going to start with Latte. And the closest colors that I'm going to show you are Mud Puddle, which is another similar beige color, and then French Linen. Okay? And then I'm going to add this large spoon in here. This is your Mud Puddle. So if I put those directly next to each other, French Linen's more gray, and if I put Mud Puddle next to it, Mud Puddle's actually a little bit darker and probably has a little more pink undertones in it.
Brittany's got a point. When Dixville says it's in limited edition, it really is limited.
Yeah, well, we had no idea that they would go so quickly, you guys. The retailers will have them, but online they will sell out quickly. They will. We had no idea they would go so quickly. So, lesson learned, right?
And a shout out to Lois. She said that we are her idols, so apparently she keeps the bar low.
Yeah. Thank you for keeping it low so we can meet the expectations. It's all we can hope. Thank you. So this is French Linen and Mud Puddle with Latte. So you guys can see how those compare. I'm going to watch this. I hope they look on camera how they do to me in person. What if I flip them around even? Okay, so there's that comparison. They're similar, but none are identical to anything we have in the line. Okay, we have Merlot, which is this rich red. If I put it next to Muscadine Wine, Muscadine Wine looks really purple there, huh? It's a burgundy color. And then if I put it next to Rusty Nail is very much orange. Much more orange than Merlot.
Cashmere is sold out online.
Oh, is Cashmere already gone? It's because I did that piece. I knew it. I knew it. I sunk the ship for Cashmere. I'm kidding, you guys. I like to think so, but man, that was quick. Well, Cashmere, we loved you. This is Cashmere, you guys, which is this warm creamy white. The whites are going to be hard to tell. Whites are really hard to tell the difference until you put them on something. And they're even hard to photograph the differences because even when I hold these up together, I'm like,
it's all the same.
They look white. Yeah. So the most similar colors are drop cloth, but drop cloth is less warm than Cashmere, and then buttercream. And Cashmere has more yellow than buttercream does. So this is Cashmere in the middle, buttercream, and drop cloth. I know, I agree, even in person, those look really similar. Whites are just really hard, but they're so subtle. Those differences are so subtle, but they make a huge difference when you put them on something. This one's more obvious. This is Juniper, which is my favorite color in this release. I don't know how it's not sold out yet. That's Juniper, which is an olive green. And then if I put it next to dried sage is much lighter. I don't think we have anything even really similar to this. Someone needs to come dust my spoons, by the way. No one's taking care of this for me. And then collard greens is much darker. So that's juniper, dried sage, and collard greens. That one's probably, you know, pretty far from anything we have in the line. And pumpkin spice too.
No,
There's
juniper
really
sold out.
Juniper too.
Ashley just
I was rooting.
got a
for
live
juniper.
report.
Thank you. I was rooting for juniper. As much as I'll miss it, I love that
Yep.
color. It's
Good old
beautiful.
fireball juniper.
Fireball juniper. So your color was super popular. Congratulations. And then pumpkin spice is, so this is terracotta, which is only available in the 16 ounce. And that's because that's a semi-retired color. And then this is Colonel Mustard. So you can kind of see pumpkin spice with Colonel Mustard and terracotta. It's probably in between. In fact, I should mix them and see. We're going to have to get creative and see if we can get these colors now with mixes, but I would say it's pretty close to somewhere in between those two colors. All right, so I'm kind of bummed too, guys, but I mean, they're good and they went really fast. It was fun while it lasted though, right? We had fun. And I just posted, I've been painting aprons in them. You guys have been commenting on my aprons and I couldn't tell you what colors I used on them, but these are my aprons that I've been painting in the fall colors. And this is Merlot, pumpkin spice, and cashmere.
I think you should give the people what they want and juggle some pumpkins.
How
Nobody's asked. I just want to see
Yeah,
it.
you just want to see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that. Okay, so anyway, I hope that helps. We also got a new scent of Big Mama's Butter called Flannel. I love it. It's available online. Have you smelled this yet?
No.
No?
Yeah, I used to have it.
Just rub yourself down in it. Just rub yourself down in it. Just trust me. You're going to want to do that.
I'm concerned I'll end up on a frying pan.
I've heard people use it for like beard conditioner. Yeah?
What?
Yeah, I'm serious. Just trust me. just trust me.
Just
I'd
trust
never
me.
steer you wrong.
Oh, of course not.
All right, you guys want to get started painting? Okay, so I posted a picture on my Facebook and Instagram pages tonight, and it was of this piece. And I've got a coat of dixville Boss on this, actually 2 coats, because this one was 100% going to be a bleeder. And what that means is it's a dark, rich wood, and the tannins from that wood are very likely to seep through my paint. Can you give me a screwdriver?
Oh, man.
Just do it.
Like the drink?
So much. Oh, yeah. You got one of those back there?
I got a few.
I know, what's that?
Couple of empty ones.
Yeah. Like one of those shows on Bravo where they serve you alcohol while you're on TV.
We'll just start mixing drinks
That
over
is
here.
not this show. But anyway, this is a very rich wood, solid wood piece. And when I cleaned it, it was very obvious that this piece was going to be a bleeder. So I've got 2 coats of dixville Boss on here in gray. And Boss is a stain and odor blocking primer, whoopsie, which is going to keep that those wood tannins from bleeding through into my paint colors.
That's going to leave a mark.
Yeah, there we go. Good as new.
Just like that.
Okay. And then I have lightly sanded. I like to sand in between my coats of Boss. I find it to be personal preference. The reason I like it is because if I run my hand over the top of this, I can feel the difference. And then I just give it a light sanding, and I will tack it off with a damp rag. So I've already done that as well. So then I just tack off any dust that I made.
Thanks a lot, Donna. It's already Friday in New Zealand. Thanks a whole lot. Appreciate you.
Always with New Zealand. You guys have everything better than we do. So I like to brush my dixville Boss on. A lot of people always ask if I spray Boss. You can spray Boss, but I actually really like to brush it on, and I always brush it using my dixville Mini, and it brushes beautifully. So I let you guys kind of guess at what colors I was thinking, and there was a lot of good suggestions, and some of them were colors I would be using tonight, but I'm going to run through what colors I'm planning on using, and then we'll see where it actually goes when I start putting them on. They're known to change along the way, right? Okay, so I'm going to start probably down low with the dark color. I love the dark base, and that color is going to be Midnight Sky. So Midnight Sky is this rich, it leans a little bit blue when you put it next to blue, so that's going to be perfect. And then some In the Navy, which of course is navy. The one color I did not see anyone name, and I'm shocked because I totally saw it in there, is Yankee Blue. Yankee Blue is way underutilized, you guys. This is a beautiful color blue, and it's perfect with In the Navy. They both have the same, I don't want to say purpley, but they can lean a little purpley. And then as I go up to the top, I'm going to get into, it's not going to be a full ombre, just going light to dark. I'm going to create some highlights in the center, and I really want to highlight this curvature of the dresser, so I'm going to use color to do that. Dusty blue, and then my lightest color I'm going to use is Sawmill Gravy, which is this warm beige. I usually never blend with a pure white. I usually like to blend with a kind of dirty whites, drop cloth, buttercream, Sawmill Gravy, you know, even cashmere, those kind of colors. I don't like to blend with pure white. It's very difficult to blend into a pure white. So let's go ahead and get started. And those are my 5 colors: Midnight Sky, In the Navy, Yankee Blue, Dusty Blue, and Sawmill Gravy. Okay?
What colors again?
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to use my dixville Mini. I'm going to go ahead and dampen my brush just a little bit. And some of these paints, I'm at like the very bottom of the container, so I may need to add even some water to my paints. We'll see when I start opening them what they actually look like. So this is my Midnight Sky, and I want to keep my, I'm going to move my piece over just a little bit. Can you see if I scoot this? Like that. Oh, my water's up there. Okay, and I'm going to keep my Midnight Sky probably no further than this bottom apron right here. And I might bring it just a little bit up onto the legs on the side. We don't need shoes for this.
Going all Huck Finn. Nice.
All right, so I'm not expecting to get full coverage. This is going to be my base coat. It will take me 2 coats to get full coverage, but at this point, I'm kind of testing my colors. I want to make sure that this is the final color scheme that I want to use. If there's any changes I want to make, I can still make them before my final coat, which is my 2nd coat. Usually takes 2 coats of the paint to get full coverage.
And what do you have as a base coat? 2 coats of?
This is 2 coats of dixville Boss in gray. Boss is a stain and odor blocking primer. So it's gray, but it is my primer. When I paint over Boss, I do like to use just a little mist of water just to help my brush glide. But you know what, you guys? I actually really love painting over Boss. I like painting over Boss versus just the raw wood because I find it gives my brush a little bit of bite to my paint. It kind of grabs the paint and holds on to it, so when I brush it on, I don't know, it tends to go on thinner when you're brushing over just raw wood with a clear coat on it. And the Boss kind of helps it have like staying power. I don't know, do you guys know what I mean, where the Boss has like a little bit of...
The Boss kind of keeps it in check.
It's kind of the Boss. Yeah, it does. It does. But I love Boss just as a base for my paint. So truthfully, if I ever even have a question about it, I will sometimes put Boss on just because I like how it works with the paint. I also like doing this for my customers because as a customer, the most likely places that you're going to have to touch up on a piece are going to be along the base here where you hit it with your vacuum. I always use that as my example, but I don't think I've ever hit a piece of furniture actually with the vacuum. But you know, you hit it with your vacuum or you stub your toe on your dresser or whatever, and those are places that are really likely over the life of a piece to need touching up, even on a factory finish.
Oh, if I stub my toe on a dresser, that dresser's seeing the outdoors.
It's going outside, it's going to the driveway.
Through the window.
I'm going to try to reach all the way to this side, but this is a wide dresser.
Let's not call names.
Yes.
You may give it a complex.
It's definitely got a COVID-20 on it.
So did you put the colors in your description, or do I need to ask you again?
Oh, they're not, but I will add them afterwards. I can. I will definitely add them afterwards. Yeah, I can. I will go back through your comments, and if you need the colors, I'll list them, but I'll also put them in the description after I get off. All right, so what do you guys think? It's a little thin right here. I'm just going to try to keep it even with the rest. Try to keep it...
It's like my hairline.
Free of brush strokes. A little thin right here, but even with the rest, like that haircut I gave you, last week? I went a little short on Sean's haircut. We do more than just blending paint in the brush vibrating household. We also blend haircuts.
I don't know about blending.
Hey,
That's not what
a mean fade, okay? And then I'm going to do my in the navy, but I'm going to keep my in the navy is kind of going to come in this shape right here. And this is going to be mostly Yankee blue. just kind of shading with these two darker colors. This one feels really full. I must have consolidated.
So let's open it on our leg.
I'm a little nervous right now. Oh, okay. Okay, it's
Not
good.
so bad.
It's good.
Yeah, when it starts to drip out the side before the lid comes off.
When I'm blending, you guys, someone asked me today if I like a wet or a dry brush. When I'm blending to get it to perfection, I actually really like a dry brush. But right now, because I'm just more laying paint on, I'm dampening my brush a little bit. So this is in the navy. And I'm going to brush it right into the top of that midnight sky. And this is actually a really pretty blend, and it's a really easy blend too.
Oh man, Stefan just stubbed her toe walking to the dresser to turn up the volume. We'll pause for a minute so you can throw it out in your house.
I kind of jinxed that, didn't I? I'm sorry. I feel guilty right now. I kind of called that one. That is a really hard side for me to reach. This is a really wide dresser without sticking my fat head in front of the camera. So I'm mostly going to focus on over here. And this isn't exactly an easy piece for me to move around either. It's really big. I always blend with my drawers in my piece, but I will, of course, take the drawers out and get around the frame as well. This first initial blend is always it's kind of rough. It looks bad. When you're done with it, you're going to be like, oh, I'm terrible at this. Like, I can't even get this concept down. This first coat is bad. But you step back and you kind of have to look through it and see that it's going to be, it's an ugly duckling right now, but it's going to be beautiful. How about that? That helps me. Does that help you?
Well then. I'm going to go ahead and get this water from the top.
Oh, thank you. I'll thank you for that later. That falls on my head.
I mean, I try to do everything I can. It's what the people want.
It would have been entertaining, guys. I feel like Sean really stole the joy from this episode, but...
Yes, Gary, my piece was sent to the Smithsonian.
Yes, that's exactly where it is. If that's what you want to call my storage
AKA,
building,
yep.
Then yes, that's exactly where it is. It had to go back in storage, Gary, because, like, I don't know, if Sean needs a project like a hole in the head, I had to think about it. Okay, I really want Sean to finish this nightstand, but I really want all this stuff done around my house too. So how do you weigh those two options?
You don't do either.
Yeah. Wait, did you guys hear something? Okay, and then I'm just gonna come back. I'm telling you, this is gonna look terrible. I already feel like guilty for showing you guys this on camera, but this is part of the process. This is my brush for my midnight sky, and I'm just brushing the two together where they meet up. That's all I'm doing. I want you guys to feel as comfortable with the looking terrible part of the process as you do with the looking beautiful part of the process. All right, my next color was Yankee blue. I might bring my in the navy around more, but I don't want to get too dark. So I'm going to wet this brush. And I think I just want my lightest color to be kind of in this area up high. I might even sand this back down to wood. I was kind of in between on this. I went ahead and coated it, but if I want to take it back down, and that's because she wants a wood stain top on the top, and this is kind of like a top right here. So I thought it might be pretty to have a little band of wood going across, but I can still just sand that down if I decide that I want to.
Dana has a good point. We call it a date night with some cocktails and finish the piece together. So basically, we just have cocktails.
and I paint.
And you finish
and I paint. Yeah, that's what that looks like. It's like one of those time things. Like Sean and I already, we spend every Saturday at kids soccer. Kids sports are big right now. Cross country meets and soccer is what we kind of do for fun all the time.
Huh?
Right now. Yeah, exactly.
Fun?
Yeah. Oh, I know. I spent, 3.5 hours yesterday with about 800 elementary kids.
It's always more fun when they're not even your own.
I feel like I left feeling like I'd been thrown in a blender.
Like you were glad to call it a 3?
Yeah, that feeling like I'd been tossed in a blender. I'm just fixing this a little bit. A little patchy. I'm just going to fix my paint. And then I'm going to, now that I kind of know my layout, I can come back and work this drawer a little bit better. And then I'll move my way up to my next drawer. And while this coat can be ugly, I kind of want to have an idea where it's going to go. And I want this blend to be smooth, guys. Like, I want to not see how this dark blue fades into the light blue. That's my goal on this piece. Okay. And then here, this will be my Yankee blue. I might put some of the dusty blue, but just right in this area. Kind of what I'm thinking. So this also helps because from here I could kind of take my drawers out once I've got my color layout, and I can just work one drawer at a time instead of trying to go across this whole entire piece. I really like this Yankee blue. I feel like actually, so I sent her the process I go through when I'm doing a custom order for a customer. I keep an inventory in my space of pieces, and then they can message me and say, here's the colors I want. I've got these colors in my room. She sent me a bunch of pictures of her room, and I sent her a bunch of pictures of finishes, and she leaned towards the Yankee blue. This is in the navy. I'm just kind of brushing these two together. Just right out here on my edges. All right, and then let's go up and kind of work this top one here a little bit.
I tell you, I'm getting thirsty. All these comments about drinks.
No, you know what's funny is at one point Dixville tried to have me do like a wine and painting night, and I was like I don't even drink. You guys are asking the wrong person. This was when I first started with them. I tried and I choked down like a little half sip of wine while I was painting, and then finally I was like, I can't, I just don't like it. I tried, and now we're not supposed to drink on camera, so that ship has sailed. I guess they forgot the implications of what it could do.
Everything turns out like a Van Gogh.
Yeah, exactly, when you're painting and drinking at the same time. Whoopsie. All right, let's see if I add dusty blue. I don't want it to get too light, so I really will work the Yankee blue into the dusty blue. This one's almost empty, so I think I'm just going to open a new container.
Oh, and I'm sure, yeah, there's the comment over there on the gram. I'm sure there's some hacksters in there. There was the question of, has it been hacked? Yeah, there's some.
Still tonight? Yeah. Well, I tried to make it better, you guys. I created a list of stuff that can't be said on the Dixville Instagram page to try to help it. It's been better. It's been better. You've been
Yes,
paying
I'll give you
attention.
that.
Yeah. So it's better. Still not perfect. That's okay. We just ignore it, and they go away once the video's live, or once it's up on the page, they go away anyways. So enjoy your 15 minutes, people. Oh, that's a pretty color. That's really pretty. This is dusty blue, and I don't want this bright blue. I actually really am going to mute this by blending it into the Yankee, so I will bring these two together really well. All right, how's this combo look though? Okay, so now I'm going to concentrate on these edges right here, and I'm going to work this. I'm going to create a mix on my piece of the Yankee blue and the dusty blue.
Gary. That's been determined to be a lie. What is he? What the heck is that guy's?
Maury,
that's it. We had you drinking at the conference.
oh, yeah. Well, in my defense, those conferences are rough, man. Those are rough.
That's been determined to be a lie.
Maury says that.
You are not.
I know, but I don't like it though. I don't. You can ask any one of my friends. I'm like, I'm not the coolest party girl in town.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Sorry, but those two people are busy.
Sean and Gary. All right, I'm unsure about this blue section, if it needs to be more of the sawmill gravy, but I feel like I have to step back and really look at it. So I'm gonna bring the sawmill gravy in up here. Let's move up to the top. I just stuck my hand in my paint. That's always fun.
Could be worse.
Yeah, I feel like I want this to be lighter. That's what I'm going through right now. Let's put some sawmill gravy down low and see how that looks.
What?
You're not in agreement? Oh,
well, you waited until I adjust things, and then you're like...
Move the cameras down, and then I'll say I want to go up higher. Yeah. I see. I feel like for
It's
me,
like a kid with an electric... the button on the car window. Up and down, up and down. Sorry, guys.
I don't know if I want it this dark, this low. I think I'm gonna need to put some of the sawmill gravy down here. That's what I'm feeling like. Let's stand up. Yeah, I think it's a little dark. All right, so that's okay. We're gonna keep going with it, and I can change that. That's why this is conceptualizing. So up here, I'm definitely gonna go lighter.
So Amy, that does raise a couple of questions, but I'll keep it simple. So you accidentally put your hand in paint instead of your chips.
Chips?
How does that happen?
Who has chips?
Why do you have them so close
Amy
together?
has chips. I was like, I don't have any chips.
Hey, Mo!
All right, so this one, I definitely want the sawmill gravy. And then this may give me a better idea, and I may carry the ideas from up here to my down low. But right now I just kind of get to play with color.
Oh, enough said. She was hangry. I get it.
I feel you, Amy. All right, let's add some sawmill gravy into this and see what that looks like. I think that's gonna be a winner for me. My sawmill gravy needs some water added to it. If I wasn't on camera, I would take it over to my sink and add a little bit of water into my container. So you're gonna see me add more water with the sawmill gravy than I did with the other colors. It just needs to be refreshed a little bit. Oh yeah, that's really pretty.
Oh yeah.
So I don't want it to look like an orb in the center of my piece, so I'm just gonna really over brush those two colors into each other.
It's more of a cocoon.
Yeah. There's that water. Not adding any of the dusty blue, but just a little bit of water kind of refreshes it, and then I can brush them right over into each other. I'm even going to brush straight through the middle of it. Just going to let those colors combine until I end up with this light spot that's in the middle. I feel like this is more the direction I want to be in. And I even think I want some of the sawmill gravy up higher. Just a little bit of water though refreshes the paint, and then I can kind of continue working with it and playing with it until I like where it is. Yeah, so I might carry this down a little bit lower and bring the light. I think I got too dark on the bottom. And I might even eliminate one of the darker colors, like take out the midnight sky and make my darkest color be in the navy. All right, so that's all the sawmill gravy, just kind of this area in the center here, and then I'm going to work around the outside of this top. I think the bottom in the darker colors is really pretty. I just don't know if it's what I want for this particular room.
So when you're using silk, how long do you let it dry before you apply wax or anything?
Silk takes about 2 to 4 hours to dry. Silk can be a little bit deceiving because it dries from the top down. So you may touch it with your hand and it may feel dry, when in fact the under layer of it has not dried yet. So don't rush silk. If you go too quickly on it and try to put something over the top, you're going to end up pulling your paint. But at least 2 to 4 hours. If you're adding wax or something that requires a lot of, wax is a lot of buffing, a lot of rubbing, a lot of buffing. It's very hard on your paint. You definitely want to make sure it's fully dry. You know, whereas if you're like spraying something, your dry time could be a little bit less. But if you're going to ask that paint to be buffed, you need to make sure that it's fully dry. So 2 to 4 hours, longer if possible. This is my dusty blue. So that's a really pretty combo. And then I think I'm just gonna put the Yankee blue around the bottom, and I think I might repeat this down below and then just put the dark on the way bottom. That's kind of where I'm thinking. But see what this process looks like when you have to think about where you're putting your colors.
And this is a customer piece.
Correct? This is my, it came out of my inventory, but somebody ordered it, the finishes that they want. So it's not like her piece where she brought me the actual piece. The piece came out of my inventory, but somebody chose the finishes for this.
And now each color that you're using, sorry to keep jumping, has its own individual brush.
Yes, I have one brush for each color. So I'm at 5 brushes right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 brushes.
Yay, me.
Oh yeah, Noah doesn't have soccer tonight, so you get to wash my brushes first.
Oh, that's exciting. Oh no, he does.
Oh, you have a HOA meeting though.
Yeah.
Dang it, I forgot about the HOA meeting. It looks like I'll be washing brushes tonight. It actually does not take very long to wash the brushes, you guys. I really don't mind, but it's one of the reasons why I definitely think having a nice set of brushes when you want to do multicolored finishes, it really helps. It really does. The Dixville brushes are an investment, but I will tell you what, I've never had brushes last so long and they clean really well. When you buy inexpensive brushes, you tend to need to replace them more often. They don't clean as well. I really like the top. I'm really struggling with the bottom. I really want to bring this light color down lower. So I think you're going to see more of this on my final version here. I even think I might lighten it up. I really kind of want to see this sawmill gravy color, and I feel like I... So I doubt they're ever exactly the same from what you guys see me start off with on my video to where I end with. I don't think they ever stay exactly the same. But the nice thing is I can just play around with the colors. Yeah, I think I'm going to bring even this out to the very, very edges and just have this really thin part on the edges is going to be my blended portion. I'm digging the sawmill gravy. So I can just bring this blend out as far as I want. And I think I want it way out to kind of the very edges. And this will come way down and then carry on to the lower part here. Little glimpse inside my indecisive head. So that's all I'm doing. I'm going heavier on the sawmill gravy and I'm bringing it out further. I added a little bit of sawmill gravy and I'm just brushing it in with a little bit of water into the paint that's already there. It's still fresh paint. I can keep playing with it. You guys, this is what makes dixville a blender's paint. This is why dixville does all those blended finishes that you see really well. Not every paint can do this, that you can keep working it. That's why it is so good at these looks, because I can work this paint until I like the look of it. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. I want to carry this out to the very edges. And then, yeah, I'm going to do the same thing, I think, on the bottom too. I want to keep this center portion light. That's probably where I went wrong, where I needed to blend it from the edges in instead of doing the circles in the middle.
So you think you're going to keep the colors up top?
Yeah, I really like the colors of the up top. I want to lighten this up even probably more. I want to make this sawmill gravy more saturated. So that's kind of where I'm going. And then I want to take this look and go down here, and my dark portion will just be the very bottom, if that makes sense. So that's my conceptual stage on this piece. How does it look on camera? Oh, that looks terrible, huh, guys? I promise you it gets there. When people, let's see, Karen, I'm reading your comment. When people want you to paint their furniture, do you go and look at it? Do you see if it's something you would take on as a project? No, I don't go to their house, because that's a lot. They have to send me multiple pictures. I've only had very, I can tell a lot just by looking at a piece of furniture, what it's made of.
Oh, trust me, I'm not on strike.
What the condition of it is. That was a long question. I don't go to their house. They have to send me a ton of pictures. And I've only had one time where someone brought me a piece and I saw it in person and was like, okay, this is nothing that I thought it would be on camera. And that's part of the risk. But it's only happened one time, and it was just, it had rust on the inside of it, had water damage. You know, if they're not honest with me, then I can't give an honest opinion of it either. So it was, you know, you don't want discriminating photos either. So yeah, otherwise I think there's a lot you can tell just by looking at photos of a piece. I can look at pieces on Marketplace and tell I don't want to work on that. Stuff with existing paint finishes on it is really hard to gauge, because you don't know what products that person has used. Unless they can tell me what products it has used, I can't tell them what the process is going to be to repaint that piece. Until I look at it and feel it, I can't feel if it has wax on it, does it have clear coat, is it an oil-based wax, until sometimes I see that piece. And a lot of customers don't know that stuff. So existing painted pieces, I always have additional disclosures for that. You know, it might be this, and this. I won't know till I see it. So, no, I think going to people's houses is a whole, that's a whole nother level. That would be time consuming, and I mean, I'd love to say I could just be in and out, but you know, you end up staying there for 2 hours talking about stuff, so no, that would be, okay, sorry, this is a really in-depth topic. I 100,000,000% prefer to work on pieces that I find. I don't want them to find me the pieces and bring them to me. I want to show you what I have and I find them. That's why I keep an inventory of pieces, because I know what to look for. You can go, and half the public doesn't know how to tell the difference between a laminate, a veneer. They don't know how to look at quality issues, damage, what the repairs might be involved. No way. I way rather finding my own pieces, and then people know that the stuff that I'm bringing home is worth refinishing. So I usually will steer people to my inventory when possible. Unless it's like an heirloom set that has sentimental value, and then there's no replacing that. then usually the stuff that I find is good quality. This is a beautiful piece of furniture. All right, I like that. That's where I'm going. Love the top. Me and the bottom are having issues. It's gonna get fixed. But I think the final version you're gonna see is gonna be more of this here. Okay, I'm sweating. Painting is work, right? It's exercise. Don't let anyone tell you differently. All right, you guys. I don't know, that was kind of fun to just work through a finish with you and see how it kind of arrives. It's very much a lot of conceptualizing. It never starts out where it ends. I enjoy the process of thinking it through and problem solving, and if not this, then what? Where do I go? How do I fix it? And you learn from making those mistakes and seeing, okay, now I know what this looks like together, and that's much closer to what I envisioned. So you guys, I have a video. Let's see, I have a video. I put my video out early this week. It came out on Wednesday, so that's up on my YouTube channel right now. If you guys haven't already, check out the new dixville fall release colors. Those will be online for probably a few more days, and then you'll have to go find your retailers to find those. So check those out at the link that I put above in the post. You can also find the 5 colors that I used tonight up there. It's a beautiful color combination. So we did Midnight Sky, In the Navy, Yankee Blue, Dusty Blue, and Sawmill Gravy are my 5 colors that I use. And it's a beautiful combo. I think I'll end up with most or all of these on my final look, just in a different order. There will be a video up on this of this on my YouTube channel when I finish this. What am I forgetting? Oh, you guys, it's only 2 weeks away. Me and Leah from Leah Noel Design Co. will be teaching at the Pinners Conference in Indianapolis on October 8th and 9th. So if you want to come learn in person, if you're tired of being stuck at home and you want to come learn in person, we will be there. We are teaching 5 classes over 2 days, plus a bunch of dixville demos and all kinds of stuff going on at the Pinners event. You can Google Pinners Conference and look up Indianapolis, and that's where we'll be. All right, I'm going to pop off. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll see you guys next Thursday.